Essa Faal will contest the December election.
I'm a man of the world.
Hello, members of the Gambia Civil Service. This is Essa Mbye Faal. I'm candidate for President 2021. I am sure that all of you have paid attention to the events around the politics of this country. In particular, the rhetoric of our political leaders, those contending or contesting for the presidency, me including. I want to have a conversation with you, to talk to you about the civil service. You see, growing up in Banjul, we were made to believe that the Gambia civil service was rated as second best in Africa. That was a lofty accomplishment many of us were very proud of. During those days, Mansa Kunda Dokuo, Omange Ligeyel Ngurgi, was a badge of honor. And many like me, growing up in the urban and peri-urban areas, dreamed about working in the civil service. But it seems to me that those glory days are gone. Those days of great efficiency and effectiveness. Those days wherein we could boast of eminent people in these services who were so seasoned in their jobs. People marveled at statements that they wrote or papers that they delivered. I know that there are still many of you out there who are highly competent in your jobs, very well educated, and would excel in whatever environment you put in. But we must also recognize that our civil service is no longer what it used to be. It needs a lot of changes. Basically, it is crying out loud for reform. I can assure you that I am your reform candidate. I ask you to just think. I have been one of you. I have worked in the Gambia civil service. But I have also worked in the international civil service and have garnered a lot of experience on how civil services work and how civil servants ought to be treated. My father served as a civil servant all his life. And I know that during his days, even as a civil servant, as a teacher, he was able to get a government loan to build a house. He was able to get a government loan and buy a car, and was still, out of his salary, able to repay those loans, and also give us a good life, and also educate us, me including my 7 other siblings. That is how a civil service should treat its people. But now, the civil service we have is one that is not treating the civil servants properly. The conditions of service are terrible, and they deprive you, the civil servants, of dignity. In fact, many of you have to struggle to get trips out of the country in order to get per diems to augment your salaries, or paid for conferences in this country just to augment your salaries, because the living conditions are terrible. Cost of living is always ever increasing, whilst your salaries are stagnant. I know your pain. It's a terrible situation. And that is why many civil servants abdicate their responsibilities and go out there to find other ways of augmenting their salaries. And it's the deprivation that compels some civil servants to sacrifice their dignity by engaging in certain activities, lawful or unlawful, in order to make ends meet. I know how hard it is. Trust me. December 4, vote for me. vote for Team Essa Mbye Faal. We would alleviate your suffering. We would change this terrible situation. We would bring about e-government to ensure that government functions and services are more streamlined. We would pay livable wages to restore your dignity. We would retrain the civil servants so that they would be in tune with the realities of today and the developments of modern times. We would ensure that we have a civil service reform that would help transform the civil service to its glory days. For those of you who cannot fit in the new system, don't despair. We will take care of you. We will retrain you, and we would make sure we move you on to other things that you are very more suited for. And that way, it would be a win-win situation for all of us. Thank you very much.
Essa Faal will contest the December election.
I'm a man of the world.